Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Ali Juno and this is my crafty corner. Today it's a stitch with me. Basically, I'm just gonna be stitching and chatting. I'm not doing any updates on anything. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you coming in. If you would like, you can hit the subscribe button so that you can come back again and see my channels. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming. Today is Sunday, July the 18th. Basically today I'm starting a new project, which I will get into as I start stitching. I'll touch topic up on how my last week has been, and then possibly go into just like some childhood stories that I recall. Just something to keep the chatter going. So let us go ahead and get started. I hope everybody enjoys the stitch with me today. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask in the comments below. So let's go ahead and get started with the stitch with me. Oh, I can't see. There we go. There we go. Now I'm back to the screen that I need to be at. All right, so this is a pattern from Heaven and Earth Designs. It is one of their free patterns currently. It is called Harmony. I just really love the bright colors. So I definitely wanted to give this a go. I am working on 18 count, 2 over 1. So I've got 2 strands and I'm going over 1 square. I'm still learning all the terms and technologies, but at the moment, that's what I know. I am working, I am using Pattern Keeper to keep my pattern for me so I can keep up with where I'm at. I'm sorry, my eye is itchy. Not used to this Q-snap. This is a bigger Q-snap than I've ever used. This is a 17 by 11, and I'm trying to get my bearings. I think I'll stitch like this. Trying to get my bearings on how to stitch. Oh, I am not even stitching in the right place. I'm making my own pattern up. I gotta undo this. Needed to go under this stitch, not above it. But I am going to be parking with this. There we go. Get rid of that. I have a knot. Give me a sec. There we go. Alright, let's try that again. I am going to be parking with this project. I have found that I really do like parking with the full coverage pieces. This is my first time stitching a full coverage with 2 strands instead of just 1 over 1. My last project, my other project is 1 over 1 on Lagana. So this is my first time doing it with 18 count. My fabric is the 18 count pre-gridded. I got it from 123 Stitch. And I am saying a lot. I apologize. I will try not to, because it does get a bit obsessive there. But, there I go again. Okay. I am, like I said, I wanted to do this project because it's a very bright, colorful project. My other project is not. It's only got 19 colors, where this one has 90. So this is going to be a new experience because I haven't done a lot. This is only my second full coverage project. Third. This is only my third full coverage project. I've got the dragon one. I've got my kitten and the rose. And then I've got my dragon one that I've done. But neither one of those are... The dragon one's not very far along. And it does have more colors. But it only has like 30 colors. So... It is different. This current color is not very dark, so I'm not really seeing a bunch of... I can't really see it on the fabric, but oh well. So that is my project, and this is my progress, what I plan on doing. I am stitching, my first stitch is starting at the gray color, so that I know that my final stitch is covering the gray. I have heard of people talking about having an issue when they get the pre-gridded fabric, that they are not sure how to stitch on it, because if you don't... Oh. Why not use this hand? I keep stitching in the wrong spot. Every time they were saying, a few of the people were saying that they were having troubles trying to know where to stitch at, because it's not 10 by 10 in the square itself. You've got to cover one of the grays. But I think I've got it situated so that should not be an issue with me. I will say I like the concept of it, so that I don't have to grid it myself. I can just grab and go. I'm not against gridding. I can do it. I do it. But if I can take one less step out of a project, I definitely will, without taking away from the integrity of the project. So that's about all I have to talk about this project. So the next thing we'll talk about is I had my car put in the shop. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but it's been in the shop for a month, over a month now. They finally got it in to get worked on this week. They finally have ordered the parts. So we should be able to go pick up the car tomorrow evening after I get off work. Unless something happened and everything didn't get done as it was supposed to. Which, it's very possible. So that's about, I did put my truck in the shop as well. We have a truck as well that has been down. It's been down for a good 8 months. It died last year. And we just haven't been able to get it into the shop. So we took it in. With it, it could be a driveline mess up, battery replacement, or starter, or all three. So we will see about that. That'll take them. They stated it'll be at least the end of the month before they even get to look at that one, because they are backed up, which I'm okay with. That was not my main ride. My main ride is the one that we've been trying to get fixed for the month now. Luckily, they were able to provide a rental car. Otherwise, things would be very hectic right now. Let's see. Well, that's about all the update I have for my car. Don't have any more to update on it. I never realize how much I say when I'm talking to a video than when I'm trying not to say Holy. So, on to the next project. The next subject, I guess. What have I done all week? I have worked. I didn't, during the week, don't really do a whole lot. I went and got the fabric I needed. Not the fabric. The threads to start this. I went and picked those up. And then I spent a good 4 hours getting them on the thread drop things. But they are all done, they are all ready. I do still need to go get about 4 more skeins because they didn't have them all. Okay, so that is there. But that's okay. There are not any that I'm going to be working with in the first page, so they're not needed right this second. Give me just a second. I'm getting the color I need. Should be... Sorry, I've got like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 of these things. So I've got them double check where I had the colors. 37, 56. Another really light color, which it's about right. The corner is a light, the sky area, so it's going to be light. Put that back here. So let's see, what did I do for this week? Mostly during the week, I worked, I picked up threads. I started 2 new projects, which we'll discuss those on Wednesday. Well, this is one of the starts. Let's see. Give me just a second. I need to lower this down. I think it's too high. There we go. Alright. with this one, I'm having trouble getting my arm underneath it. I feel like I'm stretching. But I am doing I'm doing the loop start method with this because I am able to, since it is 2 strands over 1, it's easy to do the loop method on this. Let's see. Alright, so I was discussing what I did this week. Let's see. Yeah, we rearranged the house a little bit, moving, you know, bedrooms around, moving chairs around. At one point, I had 4 chairs in my office, in my room right here, and I didn't need them all. They just kept getting brought in here and not being used, just being in the way. We have now associated those to new homes, and every chair is put where they're supposed to be. I do have 3 chairs in here. I have my chair I'm currently in. I have my chair for my work office, and then I have a chair for my white table work area. I use that more for when I'm working. I set everything up over there, my cross stitch stuff up over there, so I can just you know, easily have a place to shift back and forth to my work desk for, like, if we're not having a busy day, I can do my cross stitch. Being as it's summer, we're not as busy, so I have been able to get some stitching in during the day, but it is starting to pick up again. But we went skating with my daughter and her friends on Friday, which I have really been enjoying those events. You know, she's 16 now. I need to spend as much time with her as I can because pretty soon she's gonna be, you know, she's already fairly busy. And she, you know, when she asks me to go do things with her, and I can do it, I definitely want to. She's also pretty, you know, likes to sew and stuff like that, so when I want to go to, like, Michael or Joann's or even Hobby Lobby sometimes, she's more than happy to go so she can go look at fabric, because she likes to create things. Like dresses and cosplay type stuff. That's what she enjoys doing. That's basically been only activities we've had this week. If you can see behind me, the kittens that we have are sleeping on the bed behind me. They're not very visible. It's a little distant, but I figured now was a good time to try to stream our video while they're sleeping, because they like my threads. They're not bad about it. Normally they're pretty good about leaving them alone, but sometimes they are like no peace when I'm trying to stitch. Okay. Let's see. So that's about it for going places, doing things. We're pretty homebody. We don't really go out very often. Normally in the evenings, I I try to go downstairs and watch movies with my husband. Well, I'll watch a movie because I'm not good at watching movies. I don't really prefer to watch movies. I don't like watching TV a lot. But I'll go down with my cross stitch and he'll pick a movie that I'll like, and I'll sit there and, you know, cross stitch and watch TV with him. And then come up here and watch my floss tubes. Like, it is weird how my floss tube list just keeps growing and growing. And some days I'm just going, how am I going to watch all these floss tubes? And I want to watch them so bad, but there's just so many people that it's just like, oh, they have a new one. Oh, they have a new one. I gotta watch that one. Oh yes, they have one. Like, my list of floss tubers is long. Like, Luckily, a lot of them post on different days. So normally I can get caught up on the floss tube videos. Normally day to day. I figure that's going to change because I keep adding more and more floss tubers. I just like seeing everybody's progress and the, you know, patterns that everybody is working on. You know, and they're just, and the way people stitch, you know, so many people stitch, and there's so many different ways that you can stitch. You know, there's so many different types of fabric that you can stitch on. You've got your, you know, linen. I've never tried linen. I'm not sure I'm ready to take that step for linen, but I do like even weave. I like my Ada, but I do like the even weave just a bit more. Like, it's my first go-to purchase is even weave. I like Ada mainly just because it's easier to pin stitch. But I like the smaller stitch. I'm doing this one on 18 count, which I like 18 count. It's 14 count that I don't really like that much. I had one project I was working on 14 count, and it's a UFO. It's an unfinished, you know, it's unfinished, and I don't know what the symbol, what it's called when you don't plan on finishing it. Yeah, is it a UFO? I think it's UFO. I haven't learned all the terminologies yet. But yeah. So, sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. But we do, you know, that project went to the wayside. I will use the 14 count Ada for like beadwork, bead cross stitch. I have one here, like this, where it's just beads that is the pattern. I will use 14 count for that because I use size 8 seed beads. No, these are 11s. Sorry, these are size 11 seed beads. And I will, you know, I will use the 14 count for that. but for actual cross stitching, I can't do it. It's just, I don't like it. But I can do the 14 count on the pre-printed fabrics. I have found that, and those don't bother me quite so bad. I'm not sure why, but to actually try to do a cross stitch pattern on it, I just can't. You can't do it for some reason. Let's see. I really don't even know how I got onto that subject. Alright, let's see. So the way I'm going to stitch this project is similar to the way I'm currently stitching the kitten and the rose and my dragon. I'm going to be doing the diagonal squares, basically. I'm just going to continue, like do this square, this square, this square, then, you know, go up and just continue in the diagonal mode. I really like the diagonal. I don't have a tight tension normally, so I don't normally have to worry too much about lines in my fabric or in my cross stitch pattern, because I have, you know, from what I've read up on, and since I don't have any in my other pattern either, as long as your tension is not too tight, you shouldn't have to worry too much about the markings, because I don't feather. I don't know, every now and then I can stitch over into another box. Like if I only have 2 or 3 of that color that I'm stitching in the other box, I will go ahead and stitch those other few colors and then go back to where I was at and continue. The thing that's going to be nice about being on HAED fabric here is the 18 count is when I finish a thread, I can easily pin stitch it and not have to worry about it. Like a lot of times with my Lugana 25 count or smaller, I sit there and do more of a waist knot thread. Like here I would do like a loop finish and then feed the thread down and pull it up through here, and then when I finish stitching this square, I would cut that, excuse me, I would cut that thread because it would be covered. Speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and end this thread. And we're going to end it with a loop finish, a loop thread finish. Loop finish, I think is what they're called. And then go here and do a single pin stitch. Maybe? Yes. There. And there. There we go. And now pull this up and snip it. Ah! My scissors grabbed my little doodaddy. Ooh, there we go. There we go. My scissors brought my thing off my... Wasn't supposed to do that. It's got to stay on there. There we go. And get another one because I was not done with that color. So the way I grab my stuff, I'll show you. Like, I have my stuff, I've numbered everything. I ignore this. I bought these. I got these off Amazon just so I had something to hold my stuff. I'll probably look into getting some thread drops to put on a keychain thing. But I do this. See if I can put this in view. And then I just go to the number I need. I grab the one thread and then I just pull it out. And then I pull this back down into even and make sure it's not tangled, and then I put it back over where I keep everything. And now I will just thread this on my needle. I only grabbed one strand. I'm folding it in half. Now when I'm doing 1/1, my strand is a lot longer. Due to the fact that I don't have to fold it in half. If I feel like it, I can always do the other, and then just start it differently. But I was like, I'd rather be able just to do the loop start. Come on, give me. Thank you. I'm just gonna go there, and there we go. Now I'm ready to go again. Okay, so what I wanted to just chit chat about today is just stuff that I remember from growing up. I had a pretty unique childhood. I was not in the school district for a couple of years. I was homeschooled. Tried to homeschool. Didn't work out as well as we had planned, but it's all good. We basically, from the time that when I was like 13 to 16, I think, is when we moved away from there. We basically had a farm. We had chickens, cows, we had a garden, horses, we had acres across the land. I had my own horse that I had bought when I was 15. She was a sweetheart. I loved her. I had her for a few years, but let's see. I actually think I've bought a total of 2 horses in my life when I was younger. The last one, the first one, I ended up, losing her. She died when she had complications, birthing a baby that was too big for her. And then the second one that I bought, I ended up giving her to my sister-in-law, and she has had a very happy life roaming the pastures. But one of the stories, I have a couple, but today I think I'm going to discuss this one. One of the things that I always did was, I was a farm girl. but I know I've stated this once before, I like dresses and skirts. Even to this day, 90% of the time, I wear a skirt. No reason why, it's just my go-to thing. I like skirts. I grew up liking skirts. I remember getting made fun of because I would always wear a skirt to school and try to play sports. I didn't really act like a girl wearing a dress. I just wore the dress and then acted like a tomboy. I remember, we'd have, bottled calves and pigs, potbelly pigs, sometimes wild hogs. But I remember going out and, wearing dresses. Like growing up, I remember somehow, I'm not sure where they came from, but I ended up with a bunch of square dancing dresses. Like knee-length foofy, like extremely foofy glass dresses. They had the petticoats. Some of them, they didn't come attached. You could put the petticoat on and then wear the dress over it. But I remember wearing those dresses to feed cows and the horses and all the other animals in the yard. Picking up, getting stuff out of the garden. We were doing calf roping type stuff. Not calf. I never actually did calf roping, but I did learn how to throw the lasso. And to catch, across a standing still target. But it was a sight to see. Here I am wearing a dress, twirling a lasso over my head, and actually, and hitting the target. That was cool. I know there was one dress that I recall that I loved with a passion. I ended up getting it from a friend who didn't, they didn't really care for it, and she gave it to me. It was a prom type dress. It was bright orange. And we basically called it my pumpkin dress. She let me wear it for Halloween one year, and I was the pumpkin princess. But she ended up giving me the dress. And I remember going out and feeding calves and, splitting firewood wearing this prom dress. Just because. And we lived off in the woods, it's not like we lived in a city and everybody could see what was, see it, but it still. Like I said, I remember always wearing a dress, and to this day, I am in a dress 90%, a skirt, more a skirt than dresses nowadays. Basically just because I haven't purchased any dresses. It's just easier just to go, oh, here's a skirt. It'll fit. Yay! Alright. That is all of this color. And that is a completed square. Yay! Next. Alright. That first square was fairly easy. It was only 2 colors. But, you know, I've always been called silly, crazy because of my obsession with dresses. Especially growing up. Kids were mean back in the day. If you were an oddball, you didn't fit in. And they let you know. But I didn't have to worry about it after a while, because like I said, I did do the homeschooling bit once I hit around 6th grade. So, oops, sorry. You know, I remember, you know, bottle feeding calves. And that brings me to my, what we call my ride. We had, probably about four calves at the time, I believe, that we had picked up at the auction house. I don't know, I don't remember why. I think we'd buy the calves, bottle feed them for a while, and then resell them. I was about 14 at the time. I don't recall all the details of everything. But I remember I was wearing a skirt that day, of course. And I was wearing a blue jean skirt, so it came up a little bit, but not very high. It was past knee length, or it was at knee length, if I remember right. And I was carrying the bottles out, which the calf bottles were like yay wide, yay tall, so like carrying, I had like 4 of them wrapped in my arms like this, carrying them out the back door and into the pen with the calves. And this one Brahma that we had, literally, like, as I was walking there, she was a hefty baby, and she didn't like to wait when it came to her milk. And really wish we could have caught it on video. It would have been perfect to be able to watch as we go through right here. But as I was making my way to their pen, and she came up directly behind me at a run, ducked her head, put her head between my legs just under my skirt, and proceeded to run towards the pen with me riding her. And I'm not sure how I didn't fall off, because I had no balance. But it was like she deposited me right where we dropped the bottles in. But it was like, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't know. It normally took me about, I would say, a good 2-minute walk to get to where we dropped the bottles and put the bottles up for them. So, it was a decent ride for, like having no control over nothing. But, it was fun. And, that has been, I believe her name was Dixie. I know she was a Brahma heifer. If anybody knows what that is. Yeah, but definitely had a cow ride there. I know, like, they were in a little pen in the back of our yard. We would let them out into the hot wired fenced area. And I remember the way I used to get over the hot wired fenced area is just to jump over it. I think back on it now and I'm like, if I tried to jump over a hot wire fence, I'd end up on my face. It's like, the things we did when we were young. It's like, don't even know how we did it. How we got away with it without killing ourselves. But I don't know. It's just the way life is, I believe. Of course, I pulled my thread right out of my needle. I always do that. Alright, but I know we kept her for a little while and then took her to auction and sold her again. It's what we did with most of the cows that we got. Mark my stuff. Isn't that good? I hadn't been marking my parking spots. Will you mark? Do I not have it set up? Diagonal lines. Double click. Park thread and look, lower right corner. There we go. There we go. Now it'll park for me. All right. Whoop. Do that. There. One is there. All right. Now I'm on to my next color. Probably won't get this square done before I call it. Where is 7? There it is. So we'll see how much progress I can get done on this project by time Wednesday gets here. See how much progress I can get on my other pieces as well. I should have some haul to show on my next video, on my next floss tube. Let's see. Let's see. Kind of at a loss on what to talk about. Don't want to tell all my lifetime stories, because then I won't have anything to talk about at all. In my next videos, I have a few more stories. I don't have a lot, but I do have a few. I'm looking forward to actually getting into the vibrant colors on this, because this has some really vibrant colors. So like, I am definitely looking forward to actually getting into the color section here. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the parking method continues to work for me when I'm working with 80 different colors compared to the 19 of my prior project. Because it is a completely different ball game when you have a lot more colors that you're using and switching with between squares. So it would be super easy to mispark something, and misparking that one color will knock off so many other spots that you're trying to stitch. So yeah, can't wait till I get a little further away from the edge of the hoop so I can stitch with my other hand a little easier instead of my thumb always rubbing up against the edge of the hoop. I could bring it out where the thread was a little further, the spot is a little further away from the hoop, but I don't need that done necessarily. There we go. We're gonna go back to the other way. Well, I'm hoping everybody enjoyed my little story. I'm sorry, but I suck at telling stories. I always have. I've never been good at repeating back, telling stories to anybody. I always miss sections of the story or end up having to, oh yeah, you need to know this before you understand that type thing. But come on, thank you. I am looking forward to seeing progress updates on all my boss tubers that I've been watching here recently. I have one of these things. Give me just a second. I want to wrap my threads. There we go. I like putting them on this thing because it keeps the strands out of my way. And I don't have to worry about grabbing the wrong strand because they're already put away. Okay. This one. Right? No, not that one. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is what I need. Getting in my next color. If anybody has anything that they would like me to talk about or any questions about anything I'm doing, like I've stated before, you can always ask me in the chat. If you like what you've seen so far, you can hit the subscribe button to help my channel out. You can hit the like button. Come on. So I think I'm actually going to call it here. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I hope you had a great time. I'm bumping stuff. Got 130 stitches put in on this video, so let's see how many more I can put in before y'all see it the next time. And I hope everybody has a great week, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.